Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to her disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. The term, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert, was searched. The day of her disappearance, the term, how to take money from a register without being caught, was searched. A search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. As we've been unable to verify most of CARLEE's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case.
So it's very obvious that the life of 25-year-old CARLEE Nicole Russell is probably never going to be the same again after she went through this ordeal of her allegedly being kidnapped for 2 days and then she returning. Now she's undergoing a situation where most people who were previously empathetic and worried for her are now suspecting that she actually lied and the whole kidnapping was a hoax. I am one of those people actually. I just put out a video before this one talking about my reasons why I believe that CARLEE Russell may just be the girl crying wolf when there is actually no wolf. And it doesn't end there, because from the look of things, the case is going to go to the next stage where, after the press conference by the Hoover Police Department, they are actually going to come out with their findings, which may confirm that CARLEE Russell was lying. And if that becomes the case, then it's going to get crazy. Or let me say it's going to get crazier, because it's already crazy as it is. And if that becomes the case, then it means that it's very likely that CARLEE Russell could actually end up being arrested, and then charges will be leveled against her, and then she may actually get prosecuted. Today's video is going to look at what possible charges may be leveled against her if it turns out that it's confirmed that her whole kidnapping was a hoax and her stories were lies. As it stands now, she's already even been fired from her work at the spa, and her former employees are actually angry at her. It's a bit understandable, because from what I gather, they put in a lot of effort to help find her despite their busy schedules. So to go through that Herculean task and the emotional trauma that comes with it, only to later find out that she may have been fooling them, I think it's understandable that they will be angry with her. The spa's owner has also come out to say that the spa as an institution has suffered some bad publicity just by virtue of their association with CARLEE Russell. So it's like they are just taking heat just because of their association with her. I don't think that is fair, but that is what is happening. And from what I gather, CARLEE has been fired. But that aside, to the substantive point I was making, if CARLEE Russell is found conclusively to have lied, it's very likely she could get arrested. I'm not sure how that arrest would happen, whether the Hoover PD would call her parents or maybe call her herself, because she's an adult, she's 25 years old, and either ask her parents to get her to surrender herself or turn herself in or come with her, or call CARLEE herself and advise her to turn herself in, or the police will rather come to her residence and arrest her in cuffs and convey her back to the police department. I'm not sure how that would play out. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section. But then, if it turns out she's lying, I've done a little research, and here are 2 charges I suspect might be leveled against her. The first would be a 4th-degree theft. Now, that's the lowest theft offense level in the Class A misdemeanor in Alabama. So, according to my research, the lowest theft offense level is 4th-degree theft, and that is a Class A misdemeanor in Alabama, like I said. Now, 4th-degree theft involves stealing property or services valued at or under $500. Now, to put this in a better perspective, you recall from the Hoover PD's press conference that as part of their thorough investigation, they had actually found out that CARLEE Russell, or sort of in quotes, stole tissue and a robe from her employer before going missing on this fateful day. That is theft. If she's going to be charged for that, that's likely to fall within the 4th degree theft. And as a Class A misdemeanor, it carries a penalty of up to 1 year's incarceration, a fine of $6,000, or both. Per how this is going, imagine she's actually going to be incarcerated for 1 year. It would actually mean that for stealing the tissue and the rope, CARLEE Russell has already chalked 1 year incarceration, awaiting other charges and their accompanying punishments. The second charge I foresee she could possibly be hit with if this goes south would be that, in accordance with Alabama Code 13A-109, false reporting to law enforcement authorities. Yeah, that is also an offense. And like I said, if it turns out she lied, then she false reported, or she reported falsely to law enforcement authorities. In this case, relating it to the facts at hand, the false reporting would cover, first of all, her saying that she saw this kid on the highway in t-shirts and diapers, if it actually turns out she lied about that. That would be the first. The second would be her actually reporting that she has been abducted by a man and a woman, blah, blah, blah. That would be the second one. There could be third, fourth, and fifth, depending on the details of other lies she may have told. Now, this is what goes into false reporting to law enforcement authorities per the Alabama Code 13A-109. It reads, A person commits the crime of false reporting to law enforcement authorities if he knowingly makes a false report or causes the transmission of a false report to law enforcement authorities of a crime or relating to a crime. So I think it's self-explanatory, and per the explanation I gave earlier, this could be stretched to even the 911 call that CARLEE placed. This is my opinion. I'm no legal rep, I'm no legal expert, but this is what I'm thinking could possibly be one of the charges that may be leveled against CARLEE Russell if it is confirmed she lied about the whole thing. She could go, or she's actually gone from being the victim to now being a suspect and being at the butt of people's anger and frustration, because the general suspicion is that she lied. And if it's confirmed that she lied, I foresee some of these charges may be leveled against her in addition to others, maybe. I hope it doesn't get to that actually. This is a young lady who has her whole life ahead of her, but then again, there's the concept of accountability, where she needs to be held accountable for the things that she does or does not do. In that regard, it's been about 10 days since this whole case started, and looking at the press conference that the Hoover PD put out about 3 days ago, I think that they have gone back to wrap up this case and may be coming out very soon to give their final findings, in which case we would know whether maybe by a slim chance CARLEE Russell was actually telling the truth and most of us judged her prematurely and unfairly, or, as most of us are suspecting, her whole story was a hoax and she was just a girl crying wolf for reasons best known to her. I'm also very eager, if it turns out that she lied, to find out who her accomplices were. I think it would set the direction of this case in another crazy direction where we would get to know things that we may have never even thought of. Because then the questions will come up, such as, why did she do it? Who else was in on it? And where was she in those 2 days? Who was she with? And several questions. I think this plot is going to thicken more. And stay tuned to this channel. We are going to bring you the updates as and when they come out. Until then, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet done so. Leave your comments in the comment section. Which direction do you think this story is going to go? And what do you think about this whole case? Stay safe out there. We'll catch you next time.